That is just so strange. All right, this is Kim again. I'm turning down my camera. I don't know what the deal is and why it's not letting me turn my camera down, but we'll just have to quit doing it, I guess. Oh, wrong way, Kim. Let's go this way. Okay, this way. This is the way we need to be. All right, let me turn it like that just a little bit. And I'm sorry about my little dog Brody. He'd been quiet all night, and now he decides to bark. And it's like I said, it's like almost midnight on Tuesday at 11:53 p.m. right now, April the 25th. All right, so I think I showed you this card the other day. It's a sympathy card I did. I used one of the backgrounds from the kit. I took that and adapted it. I only used a square. I just used my own embossing. My embossing tool, or my that was on my trimmer, and just did 3-inch and did 1-inch by 1-inch squares, so I could do another one and just using a square, and then I offset it with the circle. So there's another one similar. I don't know if I had already done this one the other night, but I'm gonna go ahead and just flip through these and let you see. These were all done with elements from the kit, mostly just elements. There were maybe 1 or 2 little things that didn't come in the kit, like this punch right here was the bow punch. Most of these items came directly from the kit. I'm ending up liking this set a whole lot more than I thought I was going to. At first, I wasn't thinking I was going to like it that much, because I loved the last one with all the cute little characters so much. But yeah, I've liked this one a lot too. I'm certainly not trying to do as many of the alternatives, but so far I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, and I'm going to show you this one, and if I have time I'll do number 9. We'll just see. I don't want to be on here too late because I have to get up and go to work in the morning. Again, Paper Pumpkin kit, the one that looked like this from March. So these are my alternatives, and I'm going to be ready pretty soon to dig into the new one. I've heard it's beautiful. I haven't opened mine yet because I wanted to finish this one before I started it. Before I started another one, trying to get that glare to go away. All right, and hopefully I can stay in the picture. Since I can't go live, I can't really watch myself to make sure. All right, so these were all the stamps that were in the set. The pot that I used in this card is right here, and the little decorative piece I used right here. This little pot, I traced it off of this blank stencil page because I had already used up all those stencils, but I'm keeping this. As you can see, I've sponged something there, but we'll use that to make this little pot. This came from the Bottled Happiness set, so I did bring that in, and the little leaves coming out of the bottle came out of Bottled Happiness. I forgot to bring this over, but I can add that later. So the little smile and the little pick, I believe, came out of Eden's Garden. Now I forgot to bring it over here. And then the little kitty cat, I think, came out of like something called Welcome Home. And again, you don't have to use the cat. So, but these stems all came out of this kit also, this one and this one. So we're using this pot with the little decorative piece. We're doing this leaf, and then the other items we're adding in. What did I put inside the card? Just some scrap paper and a leaf, and then the sentiment that was in the kit, to an incredible woman, you deserve the best. All right, so let me just go ahead and get started So I used a standard card base here, 8.5 and 11, cut in half, and fold. We'll fold it at, just in half. So that'd be, if you use a scoring tool, it'll be 5.5. No, it'll be 4 1/4. Sorry about that. And I usually use my scoring tool, but I don't have it up here with me, so I'm just going to try to do it by hand, and hopefully it'll come out decent. But use my little bone folder here to help with the crease. And of course I did it crooked, of course. That's why I usually score them, because and sometimes they're still bad when I score them, but I think I was able to fix that pretty good. And then I put the on this, the other one I used Highland Heather in the background. On this one I'm using yeah, this one's Gorgeous Grape. I decided to go with the darker of the purples for this one. Okay, so but I'll glue that down in a little bit. Let's go ahead and start with our other stamping. So for the pot in the middle, or I had offset it a little bit because I put the cat here, but I'm going to start with that pot. It's just an outline is all it is. It doesn't really have much to it. I will need my little mat because these are all photopolymer stamps that I'm using, and they need that extra little cushion to give you a good image. All right, so let me get that on there. Now I want to just do a practice stamp because it's been a few days since I've used it. Yep, that works pretty good. Hadn't used the black ink in a few days either. I don't recall using it anyway. All right, so I'm going to put this one. I apologize if my head is in the picture. I don't know if it is or not, but I'm sorry if it is. All right, so let's back up a little bit here just in case. Okay, and that turned out just fine. I'm going to go ahead and trace the other one. I'm going to get my black Stampin' Right marker here. And we'll go ahead and trace this one. So hopefully I'll leave enough space to put my little kitty cat on there. I want to put that over there too far. I'm going to use the fine tip end. The hard part of this is just getting started. I think it turned out fine. All right, and then I can stamp my Bottled Happiness stamp. And I believe I used Coastal Cabana with that. This is really a pretty simple card overall. Oh, that turned out nice. Now watch one of my card. Let's see if it turns out that good. Who knows? Sometimes they do. Tap, 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 tap. And sometimes they don't. All right, sorry if I'm all over the page again, y'all. Forgive me. All right, we're going to hope that I get a nice coverage like that one did. That one was almost perfect right there. They're not usually that good. All right, not bad. It's got a little bit of speckly looking to it, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, and actually I want to leave this out for a minute because I'm going to go ahead and stamp some of my little pieces that come out of the bottle. And I know I have that other little pot right there, but I want to show you how I do this. Uh-oh, just lost all my pieces to my other card. All right, let's move you over. So you take a sticky note, it's called, and we're going to do this technique called masking. we want to mask this piece off so we don't get ink where we don't want it. So I'm going to just show you how that's done. What you would do is you'd put your ink on your piece, and then you kind of decide where you want this to be. Just do it there. Then I'm going to stamp off one time too and pull it down maybe just a little bit right there. So, and then when you pull this off, you have it come down here and stamped where you didn't want to stamp. Okay, so let's do that for the real one. I'll flip this over now. You just want a little bitty piece of your end of your piece showing so you can see where you're putting your ink. Where I'm putting my little, I'm going to turn it sideways so I can see it a little bit better. Now it looks like I'm going to run off the page a little bit, so I'm going to bring it down further into the vase a little bit. I used some other colors on that. I was trying to see what I used. I think I used some, I must have used like some fresh freesia on this as well. So I'll pull that out here in a minute. So I hope everybody's been doing well. South Carolina weather is crazy as usual, but it's really been kind of, I think I went off the edge. Yeah, I'm kind of out of the out of the vase a little bit there. I might be able to fix that a little bit when I put my well, my ribbon doesn't go up that high. I might be able to do something creative with a marker. We'll see. We will see. All right, let me stamp this off a little bit and get my freesia out. I got some on my paper towel here. Sometimes it gets on the edge of my block a little bit there too, and that can make a mess if you're not careful. All right, let's get the, I don't know if I used freesia or heather. I'm actually going to pull out the Highland heather. Okay, let's stamp off. Oh yeah, let's just do that. Let's put a, and try to do a better job of keeping the flowers in the vase. Tap, 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 tap off. Stamp on. Stamp off. I need more than that. Do this one here. Try that other side one more time. If I can do it without it falling out of the vase. There we go. That's a nice blend. Again, I'll have to maybe try to do something creative with the vase, but then again, it may just not show up that much. It might be just fine. All right, now we're gonna color. Actually, before I color that pot, I want to stamp the little dots on it. Close up these other ink pads, because if I don't, something will happen surely. Let's see what colors I'm going to be needing to finish. I think I'm through with this, and I think I'm through with this one too. All right, so I need my black ink and my little pot decoration. And I smeared, had either on my finger or on the ink pad or on something that I set right there on the edge of my piece there. That just stinks. Okay. And if you put these towards the top of the little pot, they fit fine. If you try to go too low, they might come off. Well, it looks like I probably could put them a little bit lower and keep them on the pot and not off the edge. I could go a little bit lower than this, I think. But that one is lower than my original one. So I'm going to let that one dry a minute, and I'm going to come over here and start coloring my pink one And I believe I was using Polished Pink. That's the one that went, that's going out, the color that's going to be going away. I don't know if you can still get any of these colors or not in anything. I really don't know. But, you know, you choose whatever color palette you want to choose. That's what makes it fun and creative. You know, you might want to use more blues, or you might want to use neutral tones, or a lot of greens. You know, everybody's stuff doesn't have to be the same. That's the beauty of art and being creative. There goes my dog again. My dog is a little dog. He's a Maltese. He's about 7.5 pounds. He likes to bark at shadows or anything, really. He just likes to bark. Whoops, I went outside my line a little bit there. I have an appointment. I don't know if I told y'all that they did say my cataracts have gotten bad. I've got an appointment next week with a surgeon about getting my cataracts taken care of. Okay, so while that one's kind of drying, I'm going to use, didn't leave out my Highland Heather markers. Let me get those out. I think, is this one Highland Heather? Or is that one Freesia? Yep, Highland Heather Light and Highland Heather Dark. That's the colors I'm going to use. I think that's what I used on my other one. But I usually try to let my ink dry a little bit before I go in with another ink. That's why I didn't do this one right away, because I wanted those little black dots to have a second to dry before I went in there with the purple. And this is the dark. I'm starting with the dark on both of these. I am not an expert at color and shading or anything like that, but if they look good, I'm okay with that. And after I looked at this, and I don't know why I like to shade from this direction, but for some reason I do. But after I started looking at it, I started thinking I probably should have shaded the other side darker, because based on this bottle and the way it stamps. But, you know, I didn't. So maybe next time I'll think about that a little better. All right, let's go back in with our light pink and try to blend that out a little bit. So the idea is that you go over the darker color and you kind of pull it in with the lighter color, so that you don't have just this straight line coming down where you had the darker color. And it seems to work. So, I mean, there's still, you can see darker and lighter areas, and I guess basically that's just what I'm looking for. I don't want it to be all exactly the same color. I want it to kind of be, you know, off a little bit. And so there's the pink one. And now I'll do the light Highland Heather. Pull this in, same way. Just come over into the dark and try to pull it into the light, and to help blend it a little bit. And you're supposed to give it a little bit of time to dry first. So you're not going in there while it's still too wet. So these are alcohol markers, and they dry pretty quickly. And if you wait, if you go too fast, then it's just going to be complete blended. You know, you're just going to totally change the color basically. But if you wait a couple of minutes, let it dry, then you can blend out the lines a little bit better. At least that's what I've been taught by people that are supposed to be more expertise at this than I am, so I'm going by what they tell me. So you can kind of see how that color shades in a little bit there. Try not to get it, like I said, too much onto the blending on my black too much. All right, and I'll come back and I'll do this bottom. I'm gonna let those dry a little bit, and I can go ahead and stamp my flowers that are coming out. Now, I'm trying to remember how I did this. Yeah, did I do that black or gray? I think I did it black. Okay, so this stamp for this leaf, whoops, I'm losing everything, is open. So when I stamp it, it's gonna leave, it's not gonna color them in. I have to go back and color them in with something else. So I'm gonna just stamp it with black, because if I use the same color that I'm gonna color it in with, then it kinda, there's not any contrast. And you want there to be a little bit of contrast in your colors. And that's why when they're open like this, I stamp them with the black, with the Memento black. So let me get my black again. And I'm gonna need my little sticky note here. And it looks like take it off to the left just a tiny bit so I can go back in there and put my little garden pick in there later. All right, so just come on. I'm gonna turn this kind of stamp's kind of big, so I'm gonna ink it up this direction. I don't know if I'm off camera. Let me see. I think I'm in there. Okay. So, all right, stamp, tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to put this. All right, and I apologize if my head gets over it too far, but I'm trying to see. And again, it's going, I'm going to have to bring it down some because it's going to go off my page too much. I don't want it off. I want this one to stay down if possible in my pot. I think I did it about right there last time, but now I got to turn it that way. That should do it right there. Okay, there we go. Not bad. And then on this one, I can just, because it's a solid stamp, I can just stamp it whatever the color is that I want it to be. Almost looks like I stamped that twice. I might have, or I might have just moved it by accident. But I believe I used Garden Green for that. So let me get my Garden Green. I think that's what I used. Okay. Let's see. I don't know, that's kind of dark. Maybe I stamped it off. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. Maybe that's what I did. Maybe I stamped it off. Because that doesn't look the same. Wonder what other green I would have used. Now I did go over this with Pool Party, I believe, so that the background wouldn't be so white. but I don't think it would have lightened that up that much. I really don't know what I used, honestly. All right, well, we're going with the garden green. Okay. Going with the garden green. I'll need to use my little Post-it note again. Get one that might, in case that one's still wet. Let's pull this one over. I'll put that in there twice. I'm trying to decide. I think I might want to stamp it off. I think I kind of want to stamp it off. I'll use my sticky one over here. Whoa, didn't even get ink on there good, and I got it on the edge. I'll get my paper towel. We don't want that. All right, let's try that over here. And right here. Sorry if my head was in the way. Just hold it there and let my ink absorb good. I wonder now if I used Shaded Spruce maybe and stamped it off. I might have used Shaded Spruce. All right, it's okay. I might play with it a little bit when I get my markers out in a minute. All right, there. There we go. Looks good though. All right, so what I want to do now is we're going to take care of these leaves and give them some color. What is that color? That's Bermuda Bay. I don't think I want Bermuda Bay. Let me find, what is this? That's Shaded Spruce. Okay, yeah, I think I used a combination maybe of Shaded Spruce and something else, because I don't have garden green in these markers. So that's why I'm thinking I might have used Shaded Spruce over here. Let me see how this looks. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go real lightly and put a little, try to get it to barely put me a little piece in here. I'm trying to go lightly so I can get just a light touch, you see, and not have a big thick line. If I'm not careful and I bear down too hard, it'll be a thick line. And this is the light Shaded Spruce. I used the Shaded Spruce a good bit at Christmas. I thought it was a pretty Christmas green. But I had not really used it that much other than that. And then just recently, this kit came. I guess it was this one, and it had the Shaded Spruce in it. It seems like something else had Shaded Spruce in it recently. And so I've been using a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is just put a dot of Shaded Spruce in these, just to add a little bit of depth of color to these also. And I know I'm kind of going over the little black line, but I think just a tad of the green shows a little bit when you do that. All right, now I want to use, what is this one? Not that one. It's this one, I believe. Soft sea foam. I'm going to use the darker of the soft sea foams and see if I can spread that color a little bit of the shaded spruce. Like I said, I don't really remember what colors I used. This was so many days ago. But we will try this. So yeah, the shaded spruce is blending a little bit there into the other color, into the lighter color. And I'm really trying hard to stay in the lines. I can't see them that good, but it's kind of a little bit of a guessing game. It was something I was doing the other night, and I literally was holding the magnifying glass in my hand, and I was right on top of it. And it was still kind of messy when I got finished. So let me just say, y'all, if you can't color, or you don't think you can color, try anyway, because if I can do it right now and it's halfway decent, anybody can do it. Because yeah, it's kind of funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. Yes, I've been kind of reading up on cataracts and trying to gain some knowledge. I mean, I've heard of them, and I kind of know what the deal is, but I wanted to learn a little bit more because I'm wondering, number one, I don't know how much it's going to cost and how much my insurance company will or will not pay. And I'm like, if I just want to get a little bit more of the dark in there again. So if I need to put it off at all, although I kind of feel like I've probably needed it for a while, but I just go to the eye doctor, you know, once a year. So, but I feel like I've probably been needing it already for a period of time. I'm going to let that sit a few minutes and see how that soaks in there. If I need to go lighten it up anymore. All right, now I used my crumb cake and kind of made a little table for my plants to sit in so they wouldn't be sitting in midair. Oh, I need to stamp my kitty cat. Where did he go? Oh, here he is. Before I do my floor. Just maybe enough room for him right there. There was not as much room as I had, I don't think, on my other card, but it should be close enough. Should be good enough. Now that's a little difficult for me to color, to see the color, but I'm gonna let him dry a minute. Go ahead and grab my linen thread, my roll that's just like a mess here, and I can do the bow to put on my bottle there. Oh. Right, I know that's not the piece I'm looking for. There it is. Okay. Get something to work with here. Alrighty. Oh, I did a teeny tiny bow on something the other day. I don't remember now what it was, but I mean, it was a tiny, tiny bow. And I was impressed because I'd never done one that little before. I'm like, oh, I did that. Oh, sometimes you amaze yourself. It's kind of funny. All right, here we go. So yeah, I don't know. I think I started off, I was going to tell y'all about South Carolina weather. we're actually, I guess this is spring that we're having. We just don't usually have spring. We go from winter, and then like sometimes we get like really hot in February, and then it'll get cold again. And then it'll get like really hot again, you know, after that, like right around Easter, and then it'll cool off again. But then we get really hot again, and it stays really hot. But we've been having these cool mornings, like in the upper 40s and the lower 50s, and getting up to like 68 or 70 in the afternoons. That's just unheard of. I mean, we're having spring. We've usually had multiple 80-degree days by now. Multiple 80-degree days. And no, we've just not. We've had maybe 2 that I can remember. And they were low 80s. They weren't what we're usually getting this time of year. It's just kind of, like I said, I guess we're actually getting spring where it gets cool at night and then warms up kind of nice during the day. So I kind of like it, except that I want to be swimming outside, and it's going to be a little chilly to be swimming outside for a while because the water takes some time to cool down, or to warm up rather. All right, let's put this. Yeah, I don't think that's that noticeable. That's okay. We're okay there. Yep, I think that's okay. All right, let's put my little, go ahead and put my little ribbon on this thing. And I think I colored the cat. I think I colored him with the smoky slate instead of the black. I'm going to put my lid back on my black. And that seems to be, that green seems to kind of be fading in there a little bit. So I'm probably just going to leave that. It doesn't look too much. I mean, it's kind of like a line. I might go over it again. All right, smoky slate. Can't really remember if that's what I used on the kitty cat or not, but that's what I'm going to do. Now, he's kind of small to be able to do any blending or anything with him, but I'm going to try to, like, outline his little legs and stuff at least a little bit here, like right there with the darker ink. Oh, and maybe put the end of his tail a little darker right there. And around there. Just a little bit of darker shades. Then what I want to do, I want to get my, this is the only red that I have that has a teeny tiny tip, is because it's the old Stampin' Right markers, and they had a really teeny tiny tip, and I loved that about this because I can basically just draw and it's fine. I want to go over this little black line that's kind of like his little mouth that makes it look like he's smiling, and the little nose with that. Because you just, any like really, really fine tip marker. And then the other thing I want to do before I color him in with the lighter color is do the inside of his ears. And I usually use the light Flirty Flamingo, even though it's not that light. I think when I get the markers with this new color, it's the Bubble Bath pink. It's a real pale, pretty pink. This like a baby kind of a pink. That will probably do well inside the little animal ears. But when I blend that in here in a minute, that will kind of cover the pink a little bit. All right, back to my crumb cake color. That's the light one. This is for my table. To make these bottles look like they're sitting on a table or something and not just sitting in the air. Okay. make it be kind of a slat table this time. And then a couple little odd spots here and there. And then I'll go back with the lighter color. I'm going to go ahead and do my kitty in the lighter color first. Light Smoky Slate. I read the color out loud to myself so I make sure I'm not using the wrong one. I need to start doing that with the stamps because I don't know how many times a day I stick my stamp in the wrong color. I'm like, I didn't mean to stamp that in that. That was supposed to go in this color. And then I have to clean my stamp off and put it in the other color. Oh well. And sometimes it's hard because I work all day and then I come home and I'm like, I really want to make cards, but I'm so tired. So sometimes I'll rest a little bit before I get started, but sometimes I'll just come on and get started. And I usually feel better once I get in here and start doing it. But the problem is when I don't come in here right away and I take a nap or something, and then I stay up too late, which is kind of what's happening tonight. I missed a little spot right there. Yeah, the paint doesn't even hardly show anymore. I kind of want to go do it again. Is that the pink? No. This is it. I might want to go with something darker because it's not even showing up. Now that showed up on that side. Let's see how that blends out. I might have to go back with it a little bit. But anyway, it's I really enjoy this, and I tell you, it's just what's so great about the cards is that the joy that you're passing on to somebody else when you give them to them. And for me, that's what it's all about. I call them joy cards. They're my joy cards. Trying to spread the joy, one card at a time. And and I feel if I've, I don't know. I don't usually deliver these to the people. I deliver them to the facility, and then somebody in the facility delivers them to the residents or whatever they're called, wherever they happen to be. And but I just, if I just made one person's day, made one person happy, and to feel good for just that day, then I've done what I need to do. And just giving of my, I like to think I'm kind of good at this, and giving of myself what I can do and give to others is kind of my goal here. To spread the love and the cheer and the joy and the happiness. And in all of this, I've kind of forgotten to leave this stuff out. If you can help me out by ordering anything off of the Stampin' Up! Site to help me to afford to keep my materials up to date, and available and in stock and all that good stuff. Every little bit helps, even if you order a paper pumpkin. If you use my name as your demonstrator, then I would get credit for your order. But if there's anything that you need or you'd like assistance with, or if you want to buy cards from me, or if you want to hold a card making party and earn some free products, if you live close enough to me, we can work that out. I need a blue blending brush that's kind of a light blue. I'm thinking I used that one right there. Let's see if it's got any residual color on it here. Yeah, it's pretty light. I may not even have to dip it in anything. Let's see. Look how those alcohol inks bleed. So the only thing that didn't bleed was the bottle that I stamped, because I used alcohol inks on everything else. Yeah, even here I dotted this with the alcohol inks a little bit. And I'm not worrying if I go over and get this a tiny bit into the other colors. It's not really going to do enough to show that much, so I don't really care. I just don't want my white being so stark white. So that's the only reason I'm doing this. If you like that stark white, you can leave it stark white. But I prefer to tone it down just a little bit, and this is just the way I do it. Sometimes there's other methods that I use. It just kind of depends on what else is going on the card. Okay, so that is really, other than putting some little dots on that, and I could add my little sentiment that said smile, that's really all I need to do with that. Let me glue this on here. It really pops up pretty on that darker purple. Uh-oh, my whole lid came off. Try that again. This is about due a refill. So this Saturday, which is going to be, what, the 29th? I'm still on March. The 29th, last Saturday in April, I'm going to have a card class at my home at, from 9 to noon, 9 to 12. I have a couple room for people, so if you live in the upstate South Carolina area and would like to come, we'll do 3 cards. We'll do some techniques and stuff, $15. Bring your own drink. I used to do lunch, but it's just too much for me. I can't do it. But you're welcome to bring anything. Sometimes I might have some breakfast type snacks, but you're welcome to bring anything with you to eat while we're stamping. And I try to send you home with extra stuff if I can. So just send me a message. The best way to reach me is on my phone if you leave me a text message, but tell me who you are, because I don't call people if I don't know who they are or answer the phone. So it's 864-752-5688. You can email me, or you can message me on Facebook, or you can send a comment here on my YouTube. I don't check my email but about twice a week. So the Kim's Creations with a K .cards@gmail.com, but you can reach me that way. But it's best just to send me a text message. If you think you would like to place an order, this is my host code through the end of April, which will be Sunday, I believe, is the last day in April. Monday's the 1st. Tuesday's the first day you can order out of the new catalog. Yay, on the 2nd. But if you order in April, and I'll get you a May code on Monday, but if you order in April and use that host code right there, and be sure that you choose me as your demonstrator when you go to Stampin'Up.com, or when you go to Paper Pumpkin, use me as your demonstrator. But if you order at least a $35 order, I'm going to send you a little free card kit. And if you order $50, I'll also send you additional little gift. So, but you'll need to use that host code, otherwise I won't know. The other thing though, if you were going to order like $150 worth of stuff, don't use my host code, because then you'll get something free. But under $150, use my host code. Alrighty, let me get some little dots to put on that. I have them over here somewhere. There they are. These are still current, but they're going to be gone. And I don't know if there's any left or not, but they match close enough to my... Actually, I think I colored these in last time. Maybe I should do that. I'm not going to try to do the... I actually already have 3 that I've colored. I'm not going to do the inside of this card. I'm going to show you the other card I did, though. We might put it together real quick, because it shouldn't take but a minute. I'm trying to find my... There it is. My tool here. So I put the bigger one in the middle, I believe. Just put it right there. And then I put the smaller ones on either side of it. But see, this was done with just stamps. And, you know, there's a whole lot more stamps in that stamp set than what I used here. There's some great stamps in those stamp sets. And there usually are great stamps in the stamp sets for Paper Pumpkin. Usually wonderful sentiments, you know, that you can use. And that's one reason I like these so much, because sometimes I'll be looking for a sentiment and I'll find what I'm looking for in a Paper Pumpkin kit. But anyway, so they're just really a lot of fun. I think that's everything I did to that card. I don't think I did anything else except for the inside. Oh, I did stick the little pick in it that said smile, and I can go add that later. But here's the 2 cards. Same, but a little different. And again, this was using the stamp set for the most part out of the March 2023 Paper Pumpkin kit. So the other card that I made the other day, let me show you this one. And we can do another one. Let me move this stuff. Again, I used the things in this set. Look at the little pots. I made them in all those different colors and just stamped happy. The happy came out of this set. The birthday did come out of a different set. But this was easy to do. What I did determine that I needed to do differently with this card, and I should have left it uncovered so you can see what I did. All the ink that I used out here bled through my card, and so I ended up having to put some paper up here so you didn't see all the bleed through little dots and stuff all over the place. So I mean, I would have preferred not to have a piece of paper up here, but I mean, it's fine. Oh, and the other thing I did, I don't know if you can see this, but I took all of these little pots after I had colored them all, and I laid them in an embossing folder. I think I used Time Worn type, and I just embossed them to add some texture. I mean, you can't really tell what the texture is. It's just the idea that I gave them some texture. Again, this happy came out of this stamp set, with the Paper Pumpkin stamp set, which I'll need to find it. The birthday came out of... Oh, I cut off my eye on that one. Didn't need to. Biggest wish, I think. Give me a second. I've got it over here. I can confirm that for you, but I'm thinking that's what that came out of. Yes, I took the birthday from Biggest Wish. I stamped it with Versamark. Let's see if you can see if it's shiny, or maybe you can see it on this one. But I stamped it in Versamark and then heat embossed it, so it's kind of got that little bit of a shine to it. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. But anyway, that's what I did with that. So it was very easy to do. But instead of doing it directly on the card, I'm going to use a card front this time. Because, and then there's where I just embossed one, and then I fussy cut it out. So we don't have to take the time for me to do that. So here I've got my, I used different colors this time. So this was Calypso Coral, Polished Pink, Melon Mambo. That's the one that's going away. Yeah, I used some of the colors that are going away. Yeah, no, not Melon Mambo. Mango Melody, Bermuda Bay, and I think I did use Orchid Oasis. So these three colors were going away. All right. This one has last year's in colors. So it's Sweet Sorbet. So it's the ones that are staying, that'll be here for another year. Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide. Let's see which is which. Orchid Oasis, Starry Sky, and Tahitian Tide. Let's see. I want to do these. I think I want to do them like, maybe like this. Or maybe like this. Or maybe, nope. Let's do, nope. I'm trying to spread out the blues a little bit, because there are three blues. I don't know why that kind of looks faded right there. Maybe I did. Maybe I faded that on purpose. It almost looks like I went back and used the color lifter on that, but I swear I don't remember doing it. Anyway, but it's fine. It's all right. I did put all these up on little dots. Little popped up dots. But before I do gluing anything down. All right, which colors do I want to do my happy? I'm thinking I want these three colors. So what do I want to use? Maybe use the Tahitian Tide here. The Tahitian Tide and the Parakeet Party maybe, or the Tahitian Tide and the red. I'm thinking Tahitian Tide and Parakeet Party. That's what I'm going to stamp those in. All right, so I'll do that first. Let me see. Did I bring out my happy stamp? I might have put it away. Did I put it? Yes, here it is. They should have gone ahead and put a big birthday in here. I think they had a little birthday and a little Mother's Day and happy spring, happy Easter, happy anniversary, but they're all tiny. So that's why I pulled in that one. So I'm going to put happy on here. Ooh, that doesn't really fit on there that great. I must have had it turned a little bit to get it to fit on here maybe. And then just try to stamp it straight. Yeah. There we go. I'll just have to turn it a little bit. All right, so Tahitian Tide. Here we go. All these markers I need to put back away. So yeah, all I wanted to show you was how I did this card front. Really, that's all you need to know how to do, is how I did the front. So I'm going to stamp it over here one time so I can see how it's stamping. Make sure I get me now, of course, I don't have my mat underneath that, but Smells pretty good. Let's make sure my ink, so I'm just wanted to make sure I have plenty of ink on here. All right, fingers crossed that it stamps that well on here. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I've got everything kind of on here where it's gonna go. I lost a little bit of space because I had to trim this. Since I'm going to lay it on top of another card, I had to trim it a little bit smaller. Or I guess I didn't have to. But usually when I layer my whites, I like the white from behind to peek through. All right, let's clean this off. And now we're going to use Parakeet Party. Let's put Tahitian Tide away. And get out the parakeet, which is down here. All right. Let's make sure. Alrighty. It's not quite as bright as the blue, but I think it'll be all right. It's going to need to go about right there. Okay. All right. Fingers crossed. Let's get a nice image. Hold it there for a minute. There, it looks pretty good. Okay, so you remember when I told you I didn't like to leave something too white? And that's why I used the blending brush to add a little bit of a blue, pale blue to those. Well, here's another thing that you can do to not have too much white. If you look at this one again, you see all the little splatters on there with all the different colors. So I used all the different colors and splattered them on there just to give a fine background so it's not so stark white. And so, and if you can kind of see the difference here, like how much more white this one looks than this one. Even with using different colors and such. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. Now, your paper pumpkin kits come in that neat little cardboard box, first of all, that's great for shipping stuff or keeping supplies in or whatever. But they also, every one of them come with a little piece of cardboard. Well, I found a nice use for my little piece of cardboard because the last time I splattered, that splatter just goes everywhere. And I have it all over my pad over here where I splattered. And I don't like splattering all over my stuff. I want my splatter just to go on my, on my card. So I taped 3 of these little pieces of cardboard together with just some painter's tape. I was going to use duct tape, but I couldn't find it. I think it was out in my storage room. And I'm going to set it right here, and it's going to protect my space that would catch a splatter otherwise. Splatter doesn't usually come back towards me. It's usually going away from me. So by sticking this here, I don't have very much light. Maybe I just blocked my light when I put my cardboard up. I hope that's what it is. Okay, but let me see if I can slide this over a little bit, and then we can get the, maybe I don't want my splatter not to get on my board again though. All right, so I'm taking all the markers. I'm not going to use the dark starry sky because we've already got so much blue, but I'm going to use these 4 colors of the Stampin' Right markers. I'm going to use the side that has the brushy edge. I use the brushy edge to splatter my card. And here's how you do it. You take, again, you're going to get this end, not the tip end. So remember I told you how fine that little tip was? So it's not going to splatter. But this one will. And I'm usually sitting down when I do this, but I'm going to stand up right now because I was trying to see what y'all could see. Let me go make sure that y'all can see. But again, it's going to splatter down. It's not going to splatter on my clothes. It'll splatter down and away from me. Woo, that was a big splatter. That should be enough of the red. All right. And now we're going to take, and all I'm doing is taking this tip and flicking it off of the edge of my cap like this. Let's see, I might want to turn it this way and do, there we go. I wanted some up in that corner. All right, I hadn't done the Tahitian tide yet. Use that tip, and we're going to splatter it out off of the lid right there, okay? Turn it again. That should be enough. And we'll do a little bit of Starry Sky. No, not Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis. I'm using the lighter of the blues. That should do it. I'm sorry, I was getting my head down in there. I'm trying to see. Can y'all see the splatters? And that just adds a little bit of dimension to the card, and it kind of makes it fun. It's like confetti. And if you look down at my space down here, I've got confetti all over my paper. And some on this, see, because it would have gone splattering up there if I hadn't had this down there. It would have been splattering over my iPad and anything else up there. And sometimes it does anyway, but at least that helps. So that'll come in handy when I have my class Saturday, because we're going to be doing that little technique in my class this Saturday. And I am almost finished with this card base. With this card front, and all you would have to do, like I said, is glue it onto a card front. All right, I believe I was going to have the red in the middle. And that's what I had decided. And this blue is down here. And the green is up here. Nope. Green was here, and this blue was here. Okay, so I'm going to start with the red one. Let me kind of get them, I'm going to get it kind of straight too. Kind of straight, and paper's not straight. All right, let's get your paper straight. That'll help, Kim. I'll line it up on my little thing here. Actually, I'll get rid of this. All righty. Look how much splatter is on there. Okay, so yeah, there's some splatter here too. All right, so we got did I want to, I guess that's how I did it. I was thinking I wanted the red on top of something, maybe like that. Yeah. All right, so dimensionals. Here we go. Let's see, I think I put 3 on these the other day, 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom. And so it's going to go pretty much in the middle. See if I got it kind of straight. I feel like I got it straight. All right, dimensionals. Make sure I've got that where you can see it. 1, 2, 3. All right, so, oops, I picked up 2. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, we'll lay down our parakeet next. Yeah, I'm trying to give some of the end colors some love because they'll be leaving us next year, and I felt like I didn't give the ones that are getting ready to retire, I didn't give them enough love while they were here because I, kind of forgot they were going away. So you get busy and trying new things and new sets and whatnot, and then, you forget about using certain colors because you're all hung up on whatever new item you might have out and that sort of thing. I think I need to move that dimensional over a little bit because it's coming on overlapping a little bit too much. Okay, there we go. So I'll go ahead and give them some love now. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had some things that I had cut out a year ago to do with these, to do with the end colors, with these end colors, and I never finished the project. So I'm going to pull those out and do them because it's actually what I was using is not retiring, so I can still use them. So I need to do that. Make sure this is going to lay out about right. Yes. I'll get it in the, sorry about that. I had to pull it down where I could see it. To have a good layout there so that they take up the space just about right. Right. Here we go. Got this last one. I'll stick it up under there just a little bit. Well, I'm going to turn it this way so I can see it. Make sure I get it straight. It's already wanting to stick down. Look at that. It's so cute. And then we're going to put birthday over the top. And it looks like I need to put maybe a couple small dimensionals like on the Y and on under the B, on the top of the Y and the bottom of the B. So I'm going to get my minis. Did I say the bottom of the Y? No, the top of the Y. There. And I think I said the bottom of the B. Right there. And then I think the rest of it can be glued. So the rest of it's going to be laying on something. Or most of it will be anyway. Okay. So we'll put this across the little red pot. Get it down a little bit lower. Yeah, it's a little bit lower. Here we go. Oh man, it's just so cute. And then it just needs to go on a white card base. I'm not sure if I have one cut, actually. I'm not sure that I do. Well, there's one. There's one. I do have one. All right. Fold it. So it'll go on top like this. Now you could pop it up again if you wanted to. I'm just going to glue it. And then I'm thinking with this one, I don't have anybody right now, but I have cards laying everywhere, but I'm so bad about getting cards out to people on time. I send them, but they don't go on time. And I'm really bad about birthday cards getting delivered on time. Just, I don't know why I'm so bad at it, but I am. But there's this cute little stamp in one of these sets that came out. And it's like next time I'm late, I'm going to have a couple of those ready to go. Let me see. It says, oh, if I can find it. I think it's here. Not that one. I'll find that stamp set that it's in. Oh. I know where it got to. Oh, there it is. It came from the set called Something Fancy. And I'll have to look. I can't remember if this is carrying over or not. But it says, I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. Well, I stretch out my birthday celebrations all the time. So I think there's nothing wrong with that. So when I'm late, it's not because I intended to be late. It's because I'm just stretching out the celebration a little bit, you know. What did I do inside of that card? Oops, come on. I'm trying to get my glue back on my bottle. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, yeah, I ended up having to decorate this with some paper because of the dots coming through. So I wasn't really planning on doing that much decoration inside. So, well, I had another pot here. Technically, I could cut it out and tape it inside or something. I probably will put a little bit of color. I'll probably get some, I know I have some strips of paper in these colors, so I'll probably put a few little strips in there and maybe a balloon to make it festive on the inside also. And then I might put that on there too. But there you go. The happy birthday cards using the two different sets of colors. This one had 3 of the expiring colors on it. I think those were the only 3. Yeah. And then the pink one. So it's Polished Pink and Mango Melody and Bermuda Bay. Those are all leaving us. You got, I think, through Monday. If you want to try to still find some of those items, there's still items on the retirement list that are on clearance and some really good bargains still on the clearance rack. If you want to go check those out. And Tuesday you'll be able to order from the new catalog. This is one I did tonight. That's the one I had already done. This is the one I did tonight. And then I wanted to show you, I'm just going to show them to you, some of the new stamps set. I didn't get many new stamp sets. As a matter of fact, I only got one new stamps, two new stamp sets, and then I got some of the colors. Okay, so this stamp set that I did this card came from the set called Lazy Days. I don't know where it is right now, or I'd show it to you. But this is Lazy Days, and these die cuts and all these things came with it. What did I do inside? Oh, I just put a couple little strips and a little bird. So this one, it's Thinking of You, Life is Better with You. All right, and then these are all featuring the new in colors. And the in colors are Moody Mauve, Boho Blue, Wild Wheat, Pebbled Path, and Copper Clay. So these are all our new in colors. And these cards that I'm getting ready to show feature all these new colors. That one's in that light glare. Okay, so here we go. Let me work this direction. So this was the first one I did. I'd gotten that idea from somebody else. I think I showed y'all that one, or I worked on it with y'all the other day or something. I don't know, but there it is. That's the first one, and it has all of the colors in it. All right, this next ones I did. All right, let me find the first one. Oh, I thought I did one with just. Okay. All right, so the next ones I wanted to use this Pebbled Path. Kind of my main color. Kind of. So here's the first one I did. I used my little Bottled Happiness again, and then I added the Moody Mauve with the Pebbled Path for this one. And it opens like that. I did the splatters in there. And then this next one was Pebbled Path with the Boho Blue. And it's kind of a fun fold. Okay. The next one that I used Pebbled Path with had the wheat. What do we call it? Wild wheat accent color. So there's this one. And of course, I've got envelopes to go with most of these. Here's the envelope that went with the blue one. And I had an envelope to go with the wheat. I don't have envelopes for those two. Where did my wheat envelope? There's the one with the wheat that I did. And again, this one opens. It's kind of a fun fold. So these two are similar but different. I mean, other than Miss You and Happy Birthday. The layout, the inside layout is a little bit different. Actually, this one's you could put a gift card in this one. So this piece over here is bigger. And I just folded this piece down from the outside. And you could actually slip a gift card in there. Let's see if I used to have a card over here that I can show you how it sticks in there. Well, that piece is too big. This one might work. Let's see if that one will work. That one's probably too big too. I promise y'all a gift card will fit in there. Where did my gift card go? I used to have a Burger King card over here. Oh, there it is. There's my Burger King card. That should fit in there, and it does. So, there's the gift card one holder. And with their envelopes. That one has an envelope, and that one had an envelope. These two did not. And so that was using the Pebbled Path paper. Now, the next paper I pulled out, I tried using some of the harder ones first, but then I didn't finish doing that. So the next one I did was Copper Clay. And the first Copper Clay one I did was this one. And it's got the little wolf on it from, I can't think of the name of the set. It's got a wolf and a bear and an owl. Seems like there's something else in it. But anyway, that's where that one came from. And here's the inside of that one. And here's another wolf. And I did a card with balloons that could go with one of those. Or probably with that one, actually, because that's a birthday one. Yeah. And then here's another wolf. Turn it this way. And it's in a square instead of a circle. A note of thanks. It's a thank you note. Used a little bit different background papers. You're so totally awesome. And I meant to put something different inside of this one. I meant to put for all the good things you do, great things you do, and then I stamped the wrong one, but that's okay. And then also in those colors with the clay and the boho blue, I did this one. This is carrying over. It's in that ocean wave set. Waves of the Ocean, I think is what it's called. So that's carrying over as well. These are also carrying over stamp sets. So I've used copper clay as a base. I've used Pebbled Path as a base, but I've brought in mauve. I've brought in blue. I've brought in wild wheat. Is it wild wheat? Yeah, wild wheat. So I brought those 3 colors in. So I still, well, and I did something with the mauve here. So really I've used all the colors, haven't I? I used the mauve and the blue, the clay and the pebble and the wheat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm doing one that's more mauve. Let's turn it right side up. And I had forgotten about this, this little twisted ribbon technique. I did it last summer on one of my cards I took to the Veterans Hospital and used washi tape instead of strips of paper. But so it's called the twisted ribbon technique, using 2 sides of 2 sides of matching paper basically. But that paper had a little bit of the wheat in it, so I brought in the wheat with it. And this is the Daisy Punch that's getting ready to retire. But I did not order the Daisy dies and punch set that's current, but I did order that paper. And so I took the old Daisy and I used it as a stencil here. And then I punched out a few and used a blending brush to add some color to them. And then on the inside, I did this a couple pieces of scrap paper left over from the ribbon, and then 2-tone and a double layer of the Daisy. I thought that turned out really pretty. And those are the three new circle punches. Use those as well. And then on my envelope, I used my stencil again from my Daisy. So those are all. And then again, this one, because this one, I showed this one at the beginning. That's the only one I've had an opportunity to do with that yet. I'm going to do some more with this. But anyway, so I'm going to move these out of the way so we can see tonight's cards one more time. When I come back, I'm going to do a twisted ribbon card. And I'm going to be featuring our new Lemon Lolly color. So I'm going to be using some more of that Daisy paper that's in that Daisy Sweet. Yeah, Lemon Lolly, Daisy Sweet. And then might be having a little bit of a surprise on a stamp that I used. We will see. Hadn't worked it out all yet, so we'll see how that goes. But I hope you enjoyed these cards. Like I said, I'm starting to run down on my alternatives from this kit. I might have a few more to do, but that's going to be most of them now, because I've done, I think I said 8 or 9. And now I've used up all the materials for 3 cards, except for the envelopes, because I didn't get into the envelopes. So now I need to use up all the rest of it, and it'll be done. So I hope you enjoyed these cards. If you need anything, again, let me know. Best way to reach me is by text messaging me at 864-752-5688. Everyone have a great night. Thank you for visiting. And we will talk to you probably again either tomorrow. Tomorrow's what, Wednesday? Either Wednesday or Thursday night. Thank you so much. Good night.